of the year is called to order.
Always there has been a bubbling enthusiasm when somebody talks about or mentions the word black money, and I've collected some very interesting, I wouldn't say statistics, findings both within India and outside India. The last 50 plus years. So in India, the initiative to curb black money dates back to the pre-independence day, and I think if I'm right, the first voluntary disclosure scheme came in the year 1946-47, and after that we had few more VDIS till 1997-98 when Mr. P. Chidambaram was the finance minister under Deva Gowda, and at that time the Supreme Court came in very heavily on the government, saying that you cannot keep on giving amnesty scheme or voluntary disclosure. But after that also a couple of times under new avatars it has come. They called it sometime as a one-time settlement of long pending appeals, and also we had the 2015 amnesty scheme announced by Mr. Arun Jaitley just before the demonetization and just before the introduction of the Black Money Act. We gave one more opportunity for those who had foreign bank accounts to come clean with a 30% tax and 30% penalty. So India has been putting its effort quite well on this subject, especially in the last, I would say, the concentrated effort from the year 2011 onwards. Because of the many scams that have happened during the UPA period, there were a lot of hue and cry both from the opposition party and some of the activists. So Mr. Ram Jethmalani went to the Supreme Court, filed a public interest litigation demanding a SIT to be appointed. And under the presidency of our late Pranab Mukherjee, the government appointed a committee to study on the black money. It is very interesting that post-independence only twice the government made any attempt to even estimate the black money. The first one was in 1985 during the time of Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, and the committee couldn't come out with any conclusion on how much is the black money of Indians that is floating within India and outside India. And the estimates were anywhere between 22% to 42% of the GDP was in the form of black money in these years between 1971 and 1985. After that, a long gap had taken place. In 2012, the committee could not come out with any factual numbers, and a lot of noise were made. There was a association, an unknown association called Swiss Bankers Association, came out with a startling number that the money kept by Indians outside of India, especially in Switzerland, is about $1.3 trillion. But again, that entity itself was not traceable. There were no office bearers, so nobody knew whether it is the factual amount or not. Then in 2019, something very interesting, I got some statistics when I was browsing the Government of India publications. Under the chairmanship of Mr. Veerappa Moily of Congress party, the government appointed a parliamentary committee. So moto, the committee was appointed. Again, they tried through various methods to arrive at what is the black money amount. They finally concluded they are not able to actually quantify, but they said anywhere it could be between 290 to 400 billion dollars. That is the latest estimate made by the group of parliamentarians, and I think we should respect, because we, end of the day, we are the people who choose our parliamentarians. So if you believe that the the mid path of say 300 to 350 billion dollars of black money of Indians is sitting outside India and within India. It is quite a very challenging task for any government to go after so many people and get back the money. Now, what are the efforts that is being made, both globally and within India? Before that, I want to just touch upon this bank notes in circulation. See, recently we heard the 2000 notes have been withdrawn by the government, and it was actually preceded by the 2016 demonetization. While the demonetization was not only aimed at black money, we also had huge problem of fake currencies in circulation, thanks to some allegation that the same printer who gave printing machine to India, along with the same quality of paper and ink, gave it to our neighbor Pakistan also, and ISS used it to pump in huge amounts of fake currency into India. And some of the studies of the Financial Intelligence Unit as well as the Reserve Bank, the reason why we had almost 99% of the 500 rupees note and 1000 rupees note coming back into the system was they couldn't quantify how much within that was a counterfeit note. There are rumors that almost 8 to 10% of the monies, especially those which were banked in states like West Bengal and Assam, had more of counterfeit note than the genuine 1000 rupees or 500 rupees notes. Now, to curtail this and go more towards digitization, the 2000 notes have been withdrawn, which is a welcome move. And if you see, I have some interesting number. In 2017 March, as per the RBI balance sheet, 50% of the total value of currency in circulation out of the 13 lakh crores at the time was in the form of 2000 rupees notes. Now, if you come to 2023, it is only 10%. That means government has systematically withdrawn all the 2000 notes from the system, and more importantly, they have stopped printing notes. If you see the current quantum of 2000 rupee notes in terms of volume is only 1% of the total notes that are printed, and out of the total 33 lakh crores of currency in circulation, which is the actual cash that has gone out of the Reserve Bank's currency chest, and which could be in the form of cash balances with individuals, traders, money sitting in government treasuries, money sitting with banks. All put together, we have totally, as of 31st March, the authenticated figure of Reserve Bank of India is 33 lakh 48,000 crores of money which is in circulation, out of which 3 lakh 62,000 crores is in 2000 rupees notes, and the latest statistics is already close to 70% of the notes have come back to the Reserve Bank in the last 1 month, ever since this 2000 rupee notes withdrawal was announced. Now, the interesting part anyone would like to know is, how do we generate black money? This is again a very interesting debate. Whether every black money is illegal money? Yes and no, because there are genuine trade related transactions which converted into black money, could be for avoidance of tax primarily, and secondly for other reasons. Now, the government of India as well as the FATF, which is the standard laying body all over the world, says that bulk of the clean money that is getting converted to black money is in the form of trade-based money laundering, which they call as what we typically call importing items which may not be of the same value or the same item that is described in the customs document, but money would have flown. And then exports made to various countries. Again, the exports are undervalued. Money is collected and parked outside somewhere in a tax haven. The recent Adani case, so much of noise was made. It was very clear that the group had more than 140 subsidiaries, and out of that, almost 90% of these subsidiaries were outside of India. And all these subsidiaries are held by companies in tax havens, whether it is Mauritius or Cayman Islands or British Virgin Islands, where the secrecy is still maintained to a great extent. But the Adanis and other shrewd businessmen went one level ahead, planted a couple of their own family people as non-residents, so that they don't come under the disclosure requirement in India. You can still hold a passport in India, you can be a non-resident, you don't have to declare any of your foreign assets or accounts in India. The second interesting statistics is the money is generated from criminal activities, which is where I think somebody was talking to me before the meeting. The effect of 9/11, about 19 people, mostly from Saudi Arabia and Lebanon and other countries, coordinated, hijacked about 5 aircrafts, passed through all the security systems and went and banked the airplanes from World Trade Center to Pentagon, etc. That is when the US government woke up for the first time that this could not have happened unless there is a huge amount of funding that has happened. Ever since that 2001, we find control after control coming almost all the countries in the world, and they have not spared even a smallest tax haven today. So Hawala is the very, very prominent route where cash is moved without actual physical movement of cash happening. Whether within India or outside India, there are people called as cash couriers or hundials. They move cash and it is done totally on trust basis. Nobody will even trust their own son or daughter when it comes to legal money. When it comes to moving cash, they just depend on some random number given in a 10 rupee note. And the money you give within next hour to 48 hours reaches wherever destination you want, whether within India or outside India. This is the biggest challenge. The second one, the most important thing is operations of the so-called shell companies.